This is our 26th annual Haunted America Conference. We do it every year. We've done it in different places around the country, but the majority of them have been in Alton. Alton is its hometown, and it's also considered to be one of the most haunted small towns in America. And being in the middle of the country, it's pretty easy to reach because we get attendees who come from all over the country to attend every year. So it is just sort of a gathering of people who have an interest in ghosts, paranormal history, the supernatural, true crime, a whole mixture of different things. A lot of vendors, a lot of speakers who come. We have sessions that go on all day. Each day of the conference usually lasts about 2.5 days. And we get a really great turnout. It's a chance for people to be, as I like to say, around people who are as weird as they are. So we all get to be weird together one weekend a year. So it's a lot of fun. We sometimes will call it Paranormal Summer Camp because that's kind of what it's like.
I've always been a fan of Comic-Cons, horror conventions, etc., and always enjoyed going to them. And I thought I want to be part of it, part of the inside of it. But I wanted to sell something that was unique, what would draw me to a table. So what I was like, I never see voodoo dolls, love them. So I started creating those. Those took off, and I was like, okay, well, people are really liking those, but nobody wants to see the exact same thing every time they come back. So that's when I started adding the Damn It dolls. Now I've got wands, catnip toys, hand-painted candles, etc. So it's just things that draw me, that I just enjoy. That's what I sell. It makes me happy, so I'm enjoying making them. I just love meeting new people. Every single convention I've gone to for the years, I always walk away with Facebook friends, phone numbers, contacts, and these are just people that I continue to meet over the years. It's my favorite thing about being here and making these and drawing people in.
What I do is what's called ITC research, which is using these types of devices like these radios and so forth, doing like real-time spirit communication in haunted locations. I was in a haunted location one time, a train tunnel in Indiana, and a ghost by the name of Henry Dixon said, "Let me out of here." And for the next 3 years, any place I went, no matter what device I used, I would hear from Henry Dixon. And I'd always ask Henry where I met him at, and he'd always tell me the same thing, the Big Tunnel, which was the name of the location where he tragically died. So, and all that was validated and recorded and documented on my website through these types of devices.
I'm here at Haunted America representing my podcast, I Talk to Ghosts. And if you're into podcasts, my podcast, I feature spooky ghost stories set to music and spooky special effects. And I'm also a medium, and I like to showcase readings, so I'll have an in-studio reading with my podcast guest, so I can show my work instead of just talking about it. I get contacted a lot with people who are seeking closure with a loved one that they have lost, and I really love the connections and the messages that can come through for someone that I'm giving a reading to. And at the end of every reading, I like to give them special messages that are just for them. And I usually write them down before we even meet. And it's just amazing how they can just resonate. And I just love that people connection and that emotional experience that we can have together. It's really moving. It's really touching.
This is something that we work on. When the conference ends this weekend, I already am getting started. Actually, I've already started on next year's event. I mean, it takes a year to plan these things, and I've already started thinking about what speakers are going to be, who's coming back, who's going to be coming instead, and that kind of thing. So I have a great team of people who work with me on this, and I couldn't do it without them, but they are all the behind-the-scenes people that make sure this all goes smooth. But it takes a lot of planning. It's not something that you just do in a weekend. You really got to put a lot of thought into it, and it is a lot of work, but it's always worth it. It's worth it to get here, see all the people and get to hang out with all of the people who have the same kind of interest that you do. It's great.